What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we will be reacting to real reason everyone loves Liv Morgan so much. I had to check this video out as a Liv Morgan fan. If you guys have not been a fan of my channel for quite some time, or you just may have recently subscribed to wherever the case may be, one of my favorite wrestlers currently, right now, and has been one of my favorites to watch for quite some time now, and that being Liv Morgan. I became a fan of her during her time in NXT 2016-ish, around that time. That's when I really started to become more and more frequently watching NXT and stuff like that, even though I've caught a couple pay-per-views before then. But it was always something about Liv Morgan and like the way she carried herself in the ring. Like, her style was different from everybody else, so it kind of just made her stand out amongst the other competitors and colleagues that she did have. And I've just been a fan ever since. I mean, I've been loving what she's been doing recently with the Judgment Day stuff and everything like that. It's crazy enough that I've called her joining the Judgment Day like 2 years ago, back in 2022, and stuff like that. And the fact that it came to fruition and stuff like that, it's crazy that I actually called something like that. But comment down below, what is your favorite moment of Liv Morgan, if you guys have been a fan of Liv Morgan, or if you just happen to become a fan of Liv Morgan recently. What are some of the things that you admire about Liv Morgan? Like, keep respectful, because some of y'all might be taking it out of context and might say the wrong thing. But what matches and feuds have you enjoyed, and promos and stuff like that have you enjoyed from Liv Morgan thus far? But wait, we're not gonna waste any more time. Let's get into it.
When Liv Morgan first appeared in WWE, fans immediately sensed something distinct in her presentation. It wasn't just her athleticism or in-ring prowess, though both have steadily evolved over the years.
Yeah.
What struck audiences early was an underdog energy that felt genuine, raw, and unmanufactured in an industry often dominated by larger-than-life caricatures. Her journey from New Jersey waitress to WWE superstar mirrored the dreams of many watching from their couches, creating a bond of relatability that few modern wrestlers manage to sustain. Fans gravitate towards wrestlers whose struggle feels authentic, and Liv Morgan embodies that to the fullest extent, constantly reminding viewers of resilience through her career setbacks and personal comebacks. Her aesthetic played a role, but not in the superficial way detractors often assume. Yes, her appearance, the platinum blonde hair, expressive eyes, edgy streetwear-inspired ring gear drew attention, but it was how she owned those visuals that kept fans captivated, rather than fitting into outdated molds of what
Now
a
this right here,
should look like. Liv's
this
style
that moment right there was probably one of the most watched videos or clips, I think, last year around that time and stuff like that. But when she joined Judgment Day, it really just picked up and just gave Judgment Day new life as a whole, because it felt like they were just on a downward spiral where people just stopped caring, and she just gave them something that they needed. She gave them new life, and it helped them overall and stuff like that, to where it helped them regain their momentum back that they have lost over the course of those months. So it was a much needed decision, and I feel like it benefited everybody involved. Now it seems like now we're just starting to tell the downfall of Judgment Day, where it looks like we could be seeing a split at some point in the near future as we do head into the summer. So we'll see if that does come to fruition.
pop punk, alternative culture, and rebellious individualism that WWE audiences, especially younger female fans, rarely saw represented with sincerity. She didn't posture as someone flawless or untouchable. Instead, her look matched her unpolished but magnetic personality, creating a consistency that fans respect far more than corporate polish. Over time, her mic skills, often considered a weakness in her early career, blossomed into passionate promos laced with vulnerability. Fans remember the way her voice cracked slightly when she declared her desire to succeed, not just for glory, but to prove she belonged. These weren't over-rehearsed speeches dripping with corporate jargon. They were messy, imperfect, and heartfelt in ways that felt almost too real for a WWE ring. That kind of emotional honesty is rare and refreshing in an environment where most characters stick rigidly to their alignment. Liv's refusal to be boxed in as either purely good or villainous reflected the messy complexity of real life, and fans clung to that. Another driving force behind her popularity is the sense of long-term investment her supporters feel. Morgan's ascent didn't happen overnight. For years, she toiled in the undercard, participating in multi-woman matches, fleeting tag teams, and forgettable storylines. Yet, despite limited booking, fans consistently reacted to her entrances and movesets with enthusiasm disproportionate.
And here's the thing. And, he makes a great point. Like, for the longest time, they did have her in the undercard, where she was in meaningless storylines and feuds, and being, when it came down to like other pay-per-views, they had her in like multi-woman matches, or had her in tag team match for the most part. But I think with the work that she's put in, like recently and like over last year and stuff like that, I really do hope at some point we can sit here and have the conversation that she is headlining a pay per view or, in a marquee match. Because I feel like she's proven that she can be in a high profile marquee match. I mean, the match that she had with EO, even though it was like last year going into Saturday's main event, I think that match was really good. The match that she had with Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam was really good as well. So I really hope we could sit here and say that she could be in one next year or maybe this year at some point, because we know SummerSlam is 2 nights and it is in her backyard. So I hope that it's a possibility we could have a high profile match and storyline for her. We'll see, but hey.
Her on-screen prominence. There's a unique satisfaction that comes from backing someone before mainstream success arrives, and Liv Morgan's supporters wear their loyalty like a badge of honor. When she
We do.
finally captured the SmackDown Women's Championship in 2022, the explosion of joy in arenas and online spaces wasn't just about the title win itself. It was a collective
Mm-hmm.
validation of years of unwavering support through leaner times. What's also critical to understanding her fan connection is her transparency outside the ring. Liv Morgan's social media presence stands out in an era where many wrestlers oscillate between strict kayfabe and overtly corporate posts. Her Instagram and Twitter feeds are populated with glimpses into her training routines, quirky hobbies, unfiltered selfies, and candid acknowledgments of both career highs and lows. She invites fans to celebrate her wins and empathize with her struggles, fostering a parasocial relationship that feels reciprocal rather than exploitative. This digital authenticity translates into stronger emotional investment whenever she steps between the ropes. Moreover, Liv's versatility has deepened her fan base's appreciation over time. She has seamlessly transitioned between singles competition and tag teams.
And you gotta also understand, like when they did this feud with her and Rhea Ripley, I realistically feel that was the moment that it needed to happen. I know people, I actually enjoyed the tag team Live for Brutality. I enjoyed the fact that the team that they had. I think they had great chemistry. Um, and with them having Rhea turn heel, I think this has literally her turning on Liv has set the course of what we have now. Everything that we've been seeing happen between then and now, everything that happened from the turn, from the injury to Liv Morgan, and all of that, it literally led to the Liv Morgan that we had today. So we can honestly have that conversation where it's like, if it wasn't for Rhea Ripley, we may have not got the Liv Morgan that we have now.
Without losing character consistency, all while displaying a capacity to adapt her in-ring style. Fans appreciate wrestlers who evolve while staying true to their roots, and Liv's gradual incorporation of more aggressive moves, like her modified Codebreaker and Sunset Flip Powerbomb, reflected a narrative of growing confidence and competence. Her matches tell stories not just of physical contest, but emotional arcs, with fans riding the wave of near falls and
Mm-hmm.
comebacks as if they themselves were in the match. Liv's connection to the broader WWE Women's Evolution movement shouldn't be understated either. Even if she wasn't always spotlighted like contemporaries such as Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair, she
Yeah.
represented the next generation's ethos. Athletic women with unique personas carving their own paths. For many fans, especially women who felt alienated by the hyper-glamorized divas era, Liv Morgan offered representation of strength, tenacity, and nonconformity. Her fan base comprises not just those who admire her wrestling skills, but those who see her as an embodiment of modern femininity that values complexity over perfection. The chemistry she develops with fellow performers has also expanded her appeal, whether as part of the Riot Squad or in rivalries against marquee names like Ronda Rousey and
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch. Liv's ability to
And here's
elevate
this
her
thing with
opponents
that, right?
emotionally.
And he was talking about, like, how, she may not be seen as on the same level of like a Charlotte or Becky. I feel like if she can continue to keep on the trajectory that she is on, she could be in that conversation sooner rather than later. I feel like she has the accolades to be there. I think we just need that one big moment to really stamp that approval. And everything like that. But I think going back to her reign the first time, I think even in you can make the argument the second time around. I think with her as champion, it's always it's don't get me wrong, it's good, but I feel like the WWE as a whole need to get, I wouldn't say need to like actually, do something different, because I mean what they've done is great. I feel like the moment when she does win has always been great. I think the moments have always been great. Her winning because of the money bank cash in was cool, but I think with that you could have, told a longer story before you got to that. You could have told more, had more teases before you got to her potentially winning that championship. So the moment of her winning could have been even bigger than it already would have been, because at that point we were already seeing Money in the Bank cash-ins the previous years before that literally take place on the same night. So we wanted a break from that, and we got that the same night, and it was a big moment. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, similar to what her previous reign was, it's always centered around the person that she beats. There's not, when you look at a lot of people's title reigns, it's literally a multitude of different competitors. Like if you look at some of the other wrestlers, like with Io, right? We've had her with Rhea, we've had her with Bianca. So we've had that numerous people already, and now she's probably going to go into a feud with someone else, maybe a potential Oscar when she comes back, or whatever the case is. And you look at maybe I can't think of any other wrestlers' names right now, but you might know a few in the comment section down below. But you, oh, Tiffany Stratton, look what Tiffany Stratton's done. She's had feuds potentially with Nia Jax, Charlotte. Now it looks like she's going to be in a feud potentially with Naomi or Nia Jax again, or Jay Cargill. So they're teasing something there. But the thing is with Liv Morgan, it's only focused on one wrestler, and the person that she beats is always the person that takes the title back. And I hope that whenever she does become world champion again, WWE can do something different and have her give her, numerous competitors to face throughout her run. So when she does eventually lose it, we can at least say it was a great reign and she had a multitude of wrestlers that she was able to work with. And not only it got them over in the grand scheme of things, but it got her over and got the title reign over. But if you're just focusing on one wrestler, then people are gonna get tired. Look at the Rhea Ripley feud. The crazy thing is that match was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 41, but we all as the fans were fatigued at that because we've seen it numerous times, and no matter how many times we did it, Rhea Ripley always got a rematch, and then she took the title right back. And then on top of that, Liv didn't even get a rematch. I mean, that same thing happened the first time around. This happened the second time around. So the two things that I need them to potentially change mainly is change the way they do her title reign. Give us multiple wrestlers that she feuds with over the course of her reign. And then maybe the second thing is rematches. I feel like that we've been seeing, they say rematches don't apply, but at the same time they do. I don't. That's you guys can have a debate about that. We can talk about it in the comment section. But let's tune back into the video.
Resonates with fans who appreciate good storytelling. Her friendships and alliances feel grounded. Her betrayals and rivalries carry real weight. Fans notice when a performer makes others look better, and Morgan's generous selling and emotive reactions draw fans deeper into every narrative arc. Her vulnerability following losses is another underappreciated aspect of her connection with the audience. Rather than brushing off defeats or relying on cliched, heelish denial, Liv often leans into the disappointment and heartbreak of falling short. Fans admire athletes who wear their emotions openly, as it mirrors their own experiences of setback and failure. Morgan's ability to make even minor storylines feel like make-or-break moments speaks to her deep commitment to emotional storytelling, a skill that fans respect immensely, even if it doesn't always show up in highlight reels. The physical risks she takes in her matches have cemented her status as someone willing to sacrifice for fan entertainment. From brutal table
That's
spots
true.
to ladder match bumps, Liv Morgan consistently puts her body on the line to deliver memorable moments. Fans recognize and respect this risk-taking, especially because it contrasts against her relatively smaller stature. There's an inherent drama in watching someone perceived as undersized outperform expectations with grit and fearlessness, and Liv has mastered tapping into that dynamic without overplaying it. Her recent heel turn and alignment with the Judgment Day expanded her character depth in ways longtime fans celebrated. After years of portraying the scrappy underdog babyface, Liv's embrace of
Yeah, her joining the Judgment Day has elevated her. It's elevated her. It's elevated her to a new level, to a point I don't think a lot of people would have thought she would have gotten to. Like, let's be honest, she's elevated herself. Like, people looked at her as pretty essentially like a mid card talent, maybe upper card, but she's elevated herself to the main event scene. Like, there's no if ands or buts. She's elevated herself to the main event scene with her recent work that she's been doing with the Judgment Day.
darker aesthetics and morally ambiguous actions showcased range that critics once doubted she possessed. Fans love growth arcs, especially when they don't feel abrupt or out of character. Morgan's shift into this new role felt earned, layered, and intriguing, reigniting fan interest while avoiding alienation of her core supporters, who appreciated her initial persona. This rare balancing act between character reinvention and fan retention is a testament to her understanding of audience psychology. Beyond character work, Liv's passion for professional wrestling as a craft has always shown through in interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. Fans gravitate toward wrestlers who visibly love the business, and Morgan's joy is palpable, whether she's executing a match, cutting a promo,
Mm-hmm.
or simply interacting with her peers backstage. Her willingness to credit veterans and peers for their influence, combined with her consistent acknowledgement of fan support, cultivates goodwill that few performers maintain so effortlessly over extended periods. Her
Mm-hmm.
comeback story following injuries and career stalls only intensified the fan base's admiration. Persevering through sidelining setbacks and still emerging with renewed vigor communicates resilience that fans find inspirational. WWE audiences, particularly those who have followed the company through eras of flash-in-the-pan stars, appreciate longevity forged through grit more than manufactured invincibility. Liv's ability to weather career turbulence, all while
Mm-hmm.
maintaining her connection with supporters, is emblematic of the underdog archetype wrestling fans have cherished for decades. Morgan's mainstream crossover appeal, exemplified most recently with her casting in Bad Lieutenant Tokyo, has
Mm-hmm.
also boosted her standing among fans proud to see their favorite
Yeah,
break.
I believe that. Yeah, she is filming a movie. That's why you, if you guys didn't know, that's why she wasn't on Raw. I'm not sure how long the filming's supposed to go. I think it's supposed to be 2 weeks, so should be back in time for like after Backlash. So maybe like next week or the week after, she could be back. Because it's 2 weeks. I think usually most movies are like a 2 week filming schedule and whatnot. Um, so we could see her by the end of May, probably going into Money in the Bank season. So we will see how that goes. But I think with her doing this movie, I think that's gonna help elevate her as well because it can not only it helps her standing in the company, but gets more eyes on the company as well, and potentially gets more eyes on her as a competitor and potentially an actor in Hollywood. So this is a huge opportunity for her, and I'm happy for her. So yeah, this is definitely something that's definitely going to help elevate her even more.
Into Hollywood. While some stars' ventures outside WWE distance them from their roots, Liv's constant reassurance that wrestling remains her passion reassures fans rather than alienates them. This balancing act between crossover success and loyalty to the squared circle resonates deeply with audiences who worry about losing their favorites to other industries. Her real-life humility rounds out her magnetism. Accounts from fans who've met her at autograph signings, conventions, and random encounters consistently highlight her kindness, patience, and attention. Liv Morgan's personal story of overcoming early life hardships adds another layer of resonance. Growing up in a working-class household and experiencing the loss of her father at a young age, her narrative is
Hmm.
laced with real-world adversity that fans recognize as formative. Her frequent mentions of her family, especially
And
her
I
close
think here's the
relationship with
thing:
her mother and siblings,
people,
reminds
I understand people are like, they're gonna like who they like and stuff like that. But I think for me, I just think with a lot of fans who happen to be fans of Liv Morgan, I think it's comes down to numerous things. Some of them, of course, the appeal. That's just how some fans are. But I think she's one of those few wrestlers that's just relatable. Like her story to where she's gotten to now and how she's scratched and clawed to get to where she is now. I think it's just relatable in the eyes of fans to where they can resonate with her, and I think that just makes her one of the most relatable characters and wrestlers that they do have right now.
supporters of the humanity behind the athlete. This transparency endears her to audiences who appreciate when performers acknowledge the personal stakes behind their ambitions. Her
Yeah.
evolution as a role model for younger audiences has only amplified her popularity. While initially perceived as a niche favorite for hardcore fans, Morgan's trajectory, championing self-belief, embracing individuality, and rejecting perfectionism, has struck a
Mm-hmm.
chord with teenage fans navigating their own identities. Her encouragement of fan art, shout-outs to supporters, and interaction with young admirers reflect a gratitude that fans reciprocate in kind. Liv's involvement in community outreach and charity work, often done quietly without seeking publicity, resonates with fans who value athletes giving back. Whether visiting children's hospitals, participating in anti-bullying campaigns, or engaging in local initiatives, Her behind-the-scenes contributions reflect sincerity that deepens fan respect. Supporters love stars who leverage their platform for good, especially when it feels motivated by genuine compassion rather than PR optics. The layered way in which Liv blends toughness and tenderness adds complexity that fans find refreshing. She can execute punishing offense one moment and display emotional vulnerability the next, creating an unpredictable but believable persona that fans remain invested in week after week. The balance between fiery determination and empathetic introspection makes her accessible to a broad demographic, from die-hard wrestling purists to casual
Mm-hmm.
fans seeking relatable heroes. Her promos, especially in recent years, have evolved to emphasize storytelling over catchphrases, which resonates with audiences tired of overproduced scripts. By weaving her personal narrative into feuds, referencing past betrayals, lingering insecurities, or professional frustrations, Liv transforms even mid-card rivalries into emotionally charged contests. Fans
Mm-hmm.
appreciate performers who make every storyline matter.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, what more is there to be said? I mean, it's crazy to think that she wasn't realistically supposed to be where she is. Like, she's worked and worked and worked and worked to the point it was like they couldn't deny her anymore. They had to do something. They had to make she worked to where to get to where she was. She was never supposed to be in that spot. It just goes to show how much hard work can pay off. How much if you continue to be determined to go after something, you never know what can happen. So I mean, the sky is really truly the limit for Liv Morgan. I think for me, is for my personal opinion, I feel like we only just scratched the surface of what she can really do. And I think she's only going to get better. She's still relatively very young, so I think she still has a bright future ahead of her. Um, in WWE, and whenever she does decide to call it a career, I think she could have a bright future in Hollywood as well. So we will see. But y'all comment down below. How do you guys feel about Liv Morgan? What do you guys think that she's improved from where she was when she started and whatnot? And I'm gonna say this. I've been very vocal about it in a few streams and stuff like that. But how do you guys feel about her potentially winning the Royal Rumble next year? I know it's in Saudi, and I think that she is one of their most popular stars over in Saudi. If you've paid attention to her and her recent matches that she has had over there, from the match she had with Becky last year, from the match that she had with Nia last year, she's literally get some of the biggest pops in general. She's like treated as like one of the biggest stars there. So y'all let me know. Do you guys think there's a chance we could have that conversation that Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble next year? Do you think that could be the moment that could really stamp her approval as a main eventer with everything that she has done this thus far and the run that she has been on? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, comment down below what is your favorite moment of Liv Morgan, what is your favorite match and feud of Liv Morgan as well. But with that being said, Superman punch that post notification bell so every time I post a new video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and super kick that like button to help my channel get pushed across the platform so more people can see what I'm doing over on YouTube. Takes 3 seconds out of your day. Those 3 things for me helps in the progression of my channel as well. But with that being said, hope everyone has a great day, great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.